My roommate is a sick girl and it's driving me nuts. My roommate is constantly sick. Like always sick. She hasn't gone a week without something going wrong. She has chronic Lyme, so she often needs to take 2+ HR showers. She needs to take up 75% of the shelving space for her herbs, herbal medicine and teas. I've walked into the apartment before, all of the lights off with her sobbing in a towel on the sofa claiming all of her joints feel like they're on fire. And her ashwagandha and turmeric tea isn't helping. Yes, this is an actual thing, she said. She refuses to take medicine for it, or will only take half an Advil. She has asthma, so when it's too hot, she needs to stay home. But when it's too cold, she needs to stay home. She can't have strong scents, but she has no problem burning sage and burning the most heavily perfumed candles. She has non-diabetic hypoglycemia, so she goes hypo every once in a while. She went hypo 4 times when I first moved in. She'd call me weak as a kitten, begging me to drop everything to come rescue her. I stopped after the 3rd time and told her I'd let her die on the street next time if she can't practice self-care. Well, wouldn't you know it, she hasn't had an episode in ages. Oh, but she also needs to eat at 3 a.m. because she'll sleep too long, go hypo in her sleep and die, so she needs to eat just before I go to bed. So she's often cooking until 2 to 3 a.m. then eating. Except she'll then sleep until 1 to 2 p.m. on the weekends, or whenever she's too sick to go to work. She also claims she needs to eat a ton in order to maintain weight, which is why she cooks so much. She throws out about 2/3 of her food every week. She has a formerly torn rotator cuff. It was about 15 years ago. And God forbid you forget it. She gets ovarian cysts. Probably true. It's happened 4 or 5 times since I've known her. She'll beg me to take her to the ER. A Tylenol and a couple hours later she's perky and fine. I've stopped caring when I hear her sobbing. The list goes on. And she makes sure that I know every problem. And I must care. I must care or I'm a horrible, sociopathic, sexist roommate. For Halloween she went from being fine the day before to having the flu, and she needed complete silence, needed me to vacate the apartment and stay away until she allowed me to return. I came back randomly because %@ and you, and she was conducting video conferences. We got into a shouting match and I called her out on faking illnesses and she went nuclear full-on screaming at me to leave, so much for having the flu. And move out if I can't handle having a roommate with a chronic condition. She was full-on screaming at me, claiming that I don't understand what it's like to suffer from a chronic condition. I do have one, I just keep it under wraps and try not to bother others with it. She doesn't care. Except she fakes and over-exaggerates her illnesses so often that I've completely stopped believing her and giving her sympathy. Incidentally, she runs to her friends to badmouth me and makes me out to be this horrible person. Oh, by the way, for Halloween? Yeah, after that shouting match, she claimed she was too weak to continue on, so she went to bed while I went to the gym. An hour and a half later, I see her in the hallway in full costume and heels. She just went, "Oh yeah, isn't it a miracle? I feel so much better. Bye, I'll be back around 2 to 3 a.m. As for Toadie, she just knocked on my door to let me know how difficult it is for her to breathe right now. We just had a full conversation. She was fine. She has been giving these little hem coughs randomly throughout the day and even went to yoga. I suggested she get a cup of tea and try to relax. Or that she call it early and lay down, see if laying down will relax her muscles. She started getting angry that I wasn't taking her seriously. I asked her what she'd like me to do. She just walked away and sat back down on the sofa. I went back into my room and started writing this post. My sympathy is totally maxed. She's cried wolf so many times, she actually refers to herself as a sick girl as if it were a title. I don't believe any of her conditions except asthma are real because she has an inhaler. Can I have her committed to an asylum? With any luck, I'll soon get a job that's 2x my current pay and I'll be free of her. In 1,000 years I never thought I'd be one of those people to write a continuation of a story, but today was just too much and I need to vent/share. 2 days ago my roommate had little hem coughs. She thought she had pneumonia, but eventually settled that it was her torn rotator cuff that was hurting her lungs. Yesterday afternoon my roommate went to the doctor. She apparently called me twice and texted me on my personal phone, but I was on video conferences until 6 p.m. yesterday. She storms in at 6:15 p.m. and the following exchange happens. Her, you didn't answer my texts or calls? Me, I've been in video conferences all day. You know this, remember? I told you I had meetings until the end of day. Her, really? Well, I may need to go to the ER tomorrow, so you'll need to stay here in case this medicine doesn't work. Me, oh well. I can't, I'm with my boyfriend all day tomorrow. Her, oh my god. How can you not care about me? We're friends. And roommates wouldn't do this. You don't take any of my conditions seriously. I could die from asthma. Me closes and locks door to room. I'm not dealing with this. Cue 3 minutes of silence while I ignore her ranting. Her, through my door, I don't think you understand how serious my condition is. I may need to go to the ER tomorrow. Me, well, you're fine enough to yell at me. Her, because I've had 6 shots of steroids and a nebulizer. The doctor says if this doesn't work I need to go to the ER. You don't take any of my chronic conditions seriously. Me, because you've lied and asked me to take you to the ER many times before, I just don't take you seriously. Yes. Her, fuck you. I never asked to go to the ER. I just tell you I may need to go. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm done, I'm moving out in January. Me, are you sure? Her, yes. I'm done. I need to live with someone who has compassion and has a heart. January. I'm gone. Bye. Me, okay. Give me a date? Her, January. So I left for the gym, came back, showered and changed, ate some food, then left to go hang with the BF and spend the night at his place. I didn't bring a change of clothes, whoops. I get this gem of a text this morning. If you can stay at your BF's place this weekend, that'd be great. I want to be alone, thanks. Sick. She sent this at 10 a.m. this morning. Naturally, I decided fuck that, and wanted to change my clothes from the night before and grab some things before spending the rest of the day with the BF. So I go back to my place and listen for coughing. I hear nothing through the door, and I listen for about 5 minutes. I go to unlock the door and she has the U-latch down so I can't enter. So I knock on the door for 5 minutes. Then I open the door until the U-latch catches and begin giving a loud lecture on literacy skills. No response, so I went down to the front desk and vented/asked for help from the building staff there. I warned them that she wouldn't respond to me, but the moment they asked her to open the door, she'd claim she was zonked out on sleeping pills or something. Guess what? The staff and I went up together. I knocked on the door, asked through the U-latch gap for her to open the door, no response. The staff member demands she open the door. She leaps up from her bedroom and says, "Oh, sorry, so groggy, painkillers," and unlatches the door. The staff member just looks at me and whispers, "I can't believe it." So I grabbed 2 changes of clothes, my work phone, laptop, charger, and some personal care products and just ran out of the apartment. And here I am in our building's lobby typing this out. The building staff is really sympathetic, but I'm kind of in a just get on with the day mood and haven't really processed what the hell is going on. I'm now scared she's going to begin increasing her vindictive streak as punishment for not taking her seriously and involving others. I'm not sure what she could do, but I'm beginning to fear she'll just start making shit up. Of course I could confront her, but I know what her excuse will be. I was drugged out on extremely strong painkillers. What did you want me to do? I'm sick. What don't you get about that? On the positive, she's now Venmoing me for the cost of the furniture we purchased together, so maybe she actually is moving out in Jan? I'm an adult, I just want this drama to be over with. Hi everyone, I've decided to do one final update for Thanksgiving before I get properly smashed. Don't worry, we have a lovely metro system here. A lot happened and I truly did not want to start one of those Series 1, Series 2, etc. Updates, only the major things, and really only give one final update around the end of Dec/early Jan when everything is over. So minor stuff first, I found out she's smearing my name in the apartment complex. Any person I've met, she's telling her sob story about how I'm a sociopathic, non-emotional robot. Apparently her go-to phrase is, "He's just so mean to me." I have basically been ignoring it, aside from a few contacts who I thought were close, but they've gone cold, only giving me "Oh really? Oh really?" if I try to engage in conversation of any sort. So that kind of sucks, but I'm not going to bother fighting it as I have an independent circle of friends she can't touch. She's also left for this week for California. She left all her dishes in the sink, hair in the bathroom, a giant box of recycling, and all of her trash in the garbage bin. None of the recycling or garbage is mine. Literally none of it. Why? Well, because last week Monday she told me to leave the apartment or she'd call the police on me. Basically last weekend she told me to stay at my BF's. I then got a text from her saying, "I'm sick and my breathing machine won't work if we're both here, so find somewhere else to work." I texted back, "Nope." And then I marched home and told her I'm working from home next week. Her excuses devolved as follows. 1. It's because my breathing machine doesn't work if 2 people are in the apartment. That doesn't sound right. Is there not enough air in the apartment? 2. I am sick and need absolute silence. Okay, I'll be as quiet as a church mouse. 3. You're too loud and the walls are thin. Like I said, I'll be as quiet as a sleepy church mouse. 4. I just don't like you and don't want you near me. Well, get over it. I live here. This went worse from here. I have her recorded threatening me, threatening to break everything I own, damage the apartment and be a total and complete bitch every second I'm in the apartment. When I asked if she was threatening me, she goes, "Why, yeah, I'm fucking threatening you." Recorded. She also threatened to call the police if I didn't leave the apartment. She's a 5 feet 4 inches granola girl and I'm over 6 and 200 pounds. I know that even if she's lying through her teeth, the police will side with her and I'd be arrested. So I decided I'd leave the next morning just because she has that power to fuck up my life, even if it was just a day or two of inconvenience. I don't want to go through that. So I spent the entire week leaving at 9 a.m. and I was forbidden from coming back until 5 p.m. or else. She also sent me a text on Monday saying to halt finding a new roommate because she wouldn't decide until December 1st if she was actually moving. Then she went to the gym to work out with her personal trainer. You know, during her asthma attack. On Thursday, she tried to go behind my back and break the lease, pretending she had my consent to do so. The agent CC'd both of us in response and I called the agent and told her what was going on. My roommate said it was merely an inquiry as to our options, so we can best discuss a logical conclusion to our conflict. I pointed out that there's only 2 options. 1, someone subleases from you. 2, someone takes over the lease from you. She then sent me a text saying, "Option 3, you leave. I may be too sick in January or February to move, and with your robust health it only makes sense for you to move and not me, plus I'm not in a good situation financially." How? You make $120,000. I pointed out that she volunteered to leave and got, "Well, I'm suffering and currently breathing through a machine, it's a nebulizer, so it makes no sense for me to move, it will need to be you." It's not a breathing machine. It's a damn nebulizer she uses a couple times a day that she got from a Walgreens last week. She didn't even use it the day before she left for vacation. But this is my entire problem. She outright lies or over-exaggerates about her illnesses, but demands unending sympathy and unquestioning empathy and complete attention for every ache, pain and cough. Hem. And I'm done. I don't believe any of it. And she now has her Living the Chronic Life or Living with Pain, a guidebook to living with lifelong pain books littered around the apartment, to advertise how sick she is to anyone who comes in, just in case you weren't aware. This led to an in-person argument where I said, "You sent an email saying January 1st. You had me find someone, I found someone. I have your texts. I have you recorded saying January 1st. 3 times we both agreed to the terms. You're moving, not me. I even found a place for you to live, just swap with the guy who wants to move into here. It's even the same room in a mirrored unit." So she countered, "Well, I don't know who that person is. Plus, I want to live with Sarah now. /sigh, Sarah is a girl she befriended a couple months ago in the building. Now they want to live together. I just told her that I'm staying come hell or high water. Oh, also, for background, the guy who wants to move in put his replacement search on hold because my roommate wasn't going to confirm until December 1st that she could move out. Except she flipped that and wants a confirmation now. When I pointed out how erratic she was, she got upset and decided we both need to move out, saying, "Well, I don't think it's very fair that one of us stays in this apartment and the other leaves. I think we both need to vacate the apartment, so you'll need to be leaving too." Nope, thanks. And then she slips into her rant. "Well, that's not very logical. Why would you want to stay in an apartment where someone hates your guts?" And I just replied, "Because you're choosing to be like this. Well, then I guess we should look forward to making each other miserable for the next 8 months. Because I'm staying." She didn't talk to me for the rest of the week. She'd just leave her laptop on at full volume in the living room playing music as she was in her bedroom or bathroom. She left a mountain of garbage, dishes and recycling to force me to do work when she left for California on Saturday. Apparently one of her smears is to tell people that I'm some kind of misogynist who expects the woman to clean up the boy's mess, except I hadn't been in the apartment all week, by her orders and threats. It's all her crap. I know if I left the garbage in her room she'd probably burn me in my sleep or stab me, so I'm going to clean all of it and send her a text saying, "You left the garbage, recycling and a sink full of dishes for me to clean up," after banning me from the apartment for the week. I am cleaning it because I personally don't like leaving an apartment filthy. Next time you leave the apartment a mess for vacation, I'm putting your mess in your room for you to clean up. You're a grown adult, I'm not your maid. You make a mess, you clean your mess. I bet she'll say she was too sick and in too much of a rush to clean up, after staying home for a week, going to yoga and having a personal training session at the gym with cardio. Or, "I'm on vacation right now and choose not to deal with this. Don't bother me again, thanks." So yeah, I'm going to the LGBT center tomorrow for a free legal consultation. I'm not even sure where to go or what to mention. She's such an abusive, evil person. I'm not sure 20 minutes is even enough to get through the 3 posts I've made on Reddit. I have 10 pages of documentation of her insanity. Wish me luck, everyone. Edit changed. I asked if I was threatening her to the actual I asked if she was threatening me. She threatened me. I asked if she was threatening me. She said, yeah, I'm fucking threatening you. Update. I spoke with a lawyer yesterday and they were very blunt. I'm in an abusive situation and I need to get the hell out ASAP. They were very clear. She could slam her head into a door, call the police and they would arrest me. I'd have to hire a criminal lawyer to fight the charges, etc. Her threat is just too severe to ignore, so more than likely I'll be finding somewhere else to stay until she leaves the apartment. Hi all. About 1 year ago I posted a series of posts about the roommate I was living with at the time. She was a sick girl who over-exaggerated her symptoms for sympathy and control over people's lives. She was the kind of person where if you didn't keep up to date with her ever-changing illnesses, drop everything and cater to her every whim with infinite care, compassion and understanding, well, you're clearly an abusive psychopath who should have the police routinely called on them. Oh, and she also tried to steal around $4,000 from me. I just wanted to give a year after update. Everything is great. I live on my own now, which sucks financially, but I'm also living a much more calm, relaxed and stable life. It's nice to be me again. I no longer have to deal with the insane accusations from someone whose mood changes like the wind, or someone who decides they have a new illness and it's my responsibility as their roommate to wait on them hand and foot. And if I don't, well, the gaslighting, the abuse, the mudslinging, the name-calling, the threats of harm and destruction, the filthy state of the apartment she'd leave for me to clean up, the smear campaigns where she'd tell everyone I was abusive, trying to steal rent money from me, and the deposit. The threats she'd make to call the police because I'd call her out on her abusive behavior, it's all gone. I still can't believe I got through it. The one thing I thank my luck stars for is that she moved out at the end of February 2020. If she didn't, she and I would probably have been stuck together for all of 2020 for quarantine. I'd have been stuck with a Munchausen-based, narcissistic psychopath. She clearly had some kind of mental illness that exacerbated her, in my non-professional opinion, inherent instability and attention-seeking behaviors. And all of that in an inescapable situation would probably have been the death of me. She has made several attempts to contact me since then. The fucking audacity. Always with a friendly, oh my god, I hope you're okay. Things are so nuts, right? I always greystoned her, and as of last week with her last hoovering attempt, I completely blocked her on all social media, all phone accounts, even her flying monkeys. She has been exorcised from my life. One of the other reasons I wanted to post was that I learned of a very particular type of abuse. I didn't know I was a victim of it, and once I learned what it is, it armed me with the ability to shut this shit down in the future. I believe the young hip kids call it crybullying, and that's exactly what it is. Every time my roommate would come at me with some kind of insane, deranged accusation, I'd either stand my ground or tell her to fuck off. And that telling her to fuck off was abuse beyond measure in her words. Enough where I clearly am in the wrong and she believed she was absolved of all wrongdoing, not that she ever did anything. I was just an uncompassionate dick, in her words, after all. Please be aware of this style of abuse. It can come out of nowhere and no one wants to be seen as the abuser. And here's the best advice I can give to anyone in this situation. Standing your ground is never wrong, and remember, the best way to enrage a narcissist while keeping yourself in the clear is to listen to their bullshit, their baiting, then just smile, nod and say okay. No sarcasm, no cheekiness to it, just a neutral okay. With a smile. They'll go insane and you literally give them nothing.